On this episode of Centennial Student News, State Edition. A new policy coming to Las Cruces Public Schools. Here's what you need to know. With graduation right around the corner, this senior is already thinking about his big college decision. We went out into the community to talk to professionals about how teens with drug issues can reach out for help. All that and more coming right up, so stay tuned. Hi Hawks, I'm Jaden Sanchez, your state champ anchor, and welcome to our CSN State Show. This is the 5th year in a row that Centennial Journalism Program won state, and we want to showcase some of our work with you. Starting off with a story with the new policy that causes controversy at the LCPS school board meeting. Here's first place winner Layla Garcia with her story.
Recently, Las Cruces Public School Board voted to pass a non-discriminatory policy centralized around creating a safe and comfortable learning environment for LGBTQ+ students. I spoke with Ray Jaramillo, LCPS school board member and president, about the policy and its purpose.
Basically, it's a non-discriminatory policy that looks to protect the educational background and educational environment of those that identify in the LGBT community. Not only does it support them, but it also provides training to our teachers.
Mr. Jaramillo and the rest of the school board worked to intake community feedback and create an effective policy.
We worked very hard and very diligently to gather much information, working with our partners, our community partners, those at New Mexico State University, to draft this policy.
The meetings where the policy was read and reviewed entailed not only support, but hateful pushback from people who opposed the policy.
What was really concerning is that it was obvious that a lot of conservative groups had organized as well to show up and speak out against the policy. And they weren't just speaking out against the policy. They were using some pretty hateful and awful rhetoric towards the LGBTQ community.
Obviously, it comes down to what the community wants.
The policy ultimately passed after a third reading with a 4-1 vote.
It's a really important move for the district and sends a strong message to the community that we are a tolerant and accepting community.
With Centennial Student News, this has been Layla Garcia reporting.
For seniors, now is the time to start applying for colleges. And what comes after graduation? Student Body President Alex Chang is preparing to make his final decision. Here's Isaac Nunez with Alex's story.
With graduation quickly approaching, now is the time for seniors to start thinking about post-graduation plans. For many, college planning can be a challenge, but for Centennial senior Alex Chang, college has always been a part of his plan. Although the application process is strenuous, Alex has already received a letter of acceptance from the prestigious Military Academy of West Point.
The admissions process for West Point is very similar to all the other service academies. That would be just, you need to get your standardized test scores on set. You also need a congressional nomination. I was lucky enough to get the senator nominations and the congressional nominations. That's actually a big part. So, including that, you need your recommendation letters from your teachers and a fitness test. It's called a CFA. You just train all along. I actually trained with my father and my sister for the summer, and that prepared me a lot.
He pushes me to be better, he challenges me, but in a good way, and it doesn't mean I'm pressured or anything, but I think he's always been there for me.
He's one of the nicest kids we have. He's great with conversation, and he's truly a good representation of what we hope all our Centennial students thrive to be.
Alex will soon be making his decision for college. What college he'll be attending is yet to be known. For Centennial Student News, I'm Isaac Nunez, reporting.
Drug use is rising among teens in the Las Cruces. Here's first place winner Cariana Gamboa with how teens can seek help if they're in this situation.
Teens using drugs has become more common now than ever. 1 out of 8 teens has used an illicit drug in the last year, and New Mexico teens are more at risk by being 37% more likely to have used drugs in the last month than the average American teen.
It's definitely a problem that is showing up in the Las Cruces area, and it's been happening a lot more since I entered high school. I've noticed it a lot more around.
And during the pandemic, teens were more vulnerable to drugs.
We saw a lot more overdoses. So I think that the people, having to quarantine and isolate has definitely not helped as far as drug use. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons also that people use.
It's probably made it worse, and I think it's because a lot of people have reached to drugs as a way to cope.
It is also good to know places that can help, such as Ideal Option, a rehab clinic here in Las Cruces.
What we do is provide medication-assisted treatment to help people to come off of opioids, alcohol, and methamphetamines.
If you are struggling with drugs or addiction, don't be afraid to get the help you need.
There's a lot of people that have these problems, so definitely not to feel like they're alone.
They need to recognize that there are lots of people that are willing to help them, but there are so many great resources out there. And I think it's a matter of just reaching out to someone that you trust to get you started down that path.
If you need help, you can call the National Helpline. For Centennial Student News, I'm Kiriana Gamboa reporting.
We'll be right back with sports after this commercial break.
Oh look, the little piggy came to school today.
Hello everyone, I'm Nathan Stewart.
And I'm Dyson Hughes. Welcome to this week's edition of Hawk Sports Network. Let's get started.
Centennial's wrestling team is doing well so far. The team has a match against the Las Cruces Bulldogs on the 3rd of February.
And on top of that, they're also preparing for their district match mid-February. Here's Andre Richmond on the upcoming district competitions.
I'm looking forward to district and seeing how much better I got throughout the season.
Hey Dyson, have you seen the new golf nets they have set up near the soccer fields?
No, I haven't. It's not we even have a golf team here at Centennial. But good luck to all the golf athletes preparing for their season.
The boys basketball season is nearing the end, holding a record of 10-11. The boys play against the Mayfield Trojans on February the 4th. Make sure to dress up as your favorite farm animal and go crazy on our 6-point. Good luck, boys.
We're excited for Friday's game. It's nice to, have these games at home. We've been on the road for most of the season. So we're very fortunate that we're getting some home games. We're excited. We beat Mayfield at Mayfield before, and so we really need this win to keep our playoff hopes alive and keep our chances for the second place in the district open. And so we're working pretty hard every day to try to tighten things up. So we're trying to focus on those small little things that will get us through the entire game and should get us into the playoffs.
The girls basketball team is doing good so far with a record of 14-6, and they're also playing Mayfield in 4th. Now here's an interview with Brooklyn Maez.
The Cruces Centennial game that we just played, it was a big win in overtime, and it just really had an impact on us. Like, we made the paper, we stood out, people noticed, and it's just been really good.
And before we go, the baseball, softball, track and field, and tennis seasons are all coming up soon. Good luck to all those athletes.
Thank you for tuning into the Hawk Sports Network.
We'll see you all next time.
Later, Hawks.
That's all for this week, Hawks. I'm Cen10. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks with our Valentine's Day show. Bye!